If you're over 50 and you've been told to lift weights and it hasn't quite worked, listen closely. The problem is not you. It's not the weights. It's that you skipped a step nobody told you about. You didn't even know it existed. In the next few minutes, I will show you the step that comes first.
Tired of feeling stuck, unseen, or like your body isn't yours anymore? It's time for a reset. Welcome to an Ageless Life, the Midlife Reset Show, where science, movement, and mindset help you feel strong, energized, and like yourself. I'm Devi, a clinical pharmacist, Argentine tango dancer and instructor, and your guide for redefining how women thrive and grow in midlife and beyond. Let's get started.
Let me tell you about a box of cat litter. I don't haul it home from the store anymore. I order it online and it arrives at my doorstep in a box, 40-pound bag. The driver sets it down, knocks on the door, and is gone before I get to the door. Why doesn't ring the doorbell? I don't know. And it sits there waiting for me to bring it in. One day I went to lift the box and it was really hard. It was very difficult to do. It seemed like it was slipping out of my hand. And it was one of those, is this going to work? So I got it up in my arms. My whole body said, we are not sure about this. I did that little halfway shuffle through the garage, across the threshold, the one you do when you're about to lose the thing. I made it. Barely. And I stood just inside the door with that box of 40 pounds of cat litter in my arms. And I had the feeling, the one like your body's been taken over by an alien. It looks like you, it answers to your name, but it's not doing what you tell it to do. And it's not doing what it did before. You don't recognize it from the inside. I had two thoughts at exactly the same time. First was, do not drop this on your foot or you will not be able to dance. The second one was, and ladies, you know exactly what I mean. I do not want to have an accident right here in the doorway. We laugh because every woman listening just nodded. But beneath that laugh is the real thing. Some mornings the body you have driven your whole life gets quietly swapped for one you have to negotiate with. It changed the deal and didn't tell you. Standing there not trusting my own arms was a lonely feeling. You don't say it out loud. Who would you even tell? You just start quietly avoiding the heavy bag. I'm a clinical pharmacist 40 years. I knew exactly what was happening inside those muscles. But knowing it and standing in my own door, feeling like a stranger in my own body, those are two different things. So I went home and got to work. Not a gym, not a program. I started small in my own kitchen with movements I'm going to share with you today. And in a month, it was easier. In 2 months, I was doing pretty well with that big box of cat that had 40 pounds of cat litter in it. No shuffled, no negotiations, and no accidents. That is what I want for you. I'm Devi, clinical pharmacist and Argentine tango dancer and instructor, and this is Midlife Reset. This is the first episode of the new series, Still Working. 6 episodes about the parts of you that decide the next 20 years. Strength, balance, the way you carry yourself, your focus, your stamina, and at the end, how to see the whole picture all at once. Today, we start with the one everybody is shouting about, and we might want to fill in a few gaps. And it's about muscles. But I have a little secret. You don't build it where they tell you to, at least not in the beginning. Muscle is not about looking a certain way. It's not about being ripped. Muscle is the tissue that carries you through the world. It's what lets you get up off the floor, to catch yourself when you trip, to lift that grandchild, haul the groceries, stay in your home on your own terms. And starting somewhere in your 30s to 40s, your body stops holding on to it for free. It begins to let muscle go a little bit each year, quietly, unless you give it a reason not to. It happens slyly. You feel it as a hesitation, that jar that needs a second try, the arms that you used to just lift something and now we're going, I don't know if I want to do that. That is why I call it currency. It's the account that funds everything else for the next 20 years. Energy, independence, confidence, the ability to say yes to a trip, to a dance, to a long day without paying for it for a week afterwards. Most women were never told to fund it. We're told to shrink, to eat less, to take up less room. I spent years in that story too. I don't live there anymore. I eat strong, not to be small, and I move to keep my account full. So let's talk about why this happens. Because when you understand it, the fix makes more sense. When you were younger, your body built muscle. A little movement, a decent meal, and it responded. The signal was strong and loud, and your body answered fast. As we age, the signal gets a little bit quieter, and your body is a little hard of hearing. The same amount of movement, the same protein, and the body doesn't respond the same way it used to. Your muscle becomes more resistant to the signal to grow. Most people hear that and think, well, it's just aging. There's nothing I can do about it. And that is exactly backwards. Because here is what a quieter signal means. It means you have to send more clearly, not harder, more clearly. Movement is that signal. Every time you use a muscle with a little intention, you are tuning and turning that volume back up. You are telling the body, keep this. I'm still using it. I need it. Sit still for years and your body hears silence and it lets a muscle go, because why hold on to something that nobody's asking for and nobody's using? Move with intention. And the body hears the request and it answers. That's it, the whole game. And it is completely within your reach, starting today. You've heard this pretty much everywhere by now. Lift heavy. And they are right. Heavy weights work. It may be the single best thing you can do for the next 20 years. But the way it gets sold to you doesn't. The bro method. Lower the bar, push to failure, no pain, no gain, one program for everybody. That was built for a 25-year-old male who already trusts his body, not a woman whose body has spent 20 years racing and is going through dramatic changes. Because this is what happens to a lot of women. They walk into a gym, their body doesn't trust the movement yet. The nervous system that's been protecting itself is tense, it's holding on, and it's tied in all the wrong places. You can't build strength on top of a body that's guarding itself. You just get sore and discouraged, and you quit. The step nobody names is the one that comes first. Your body has to feel safe moving before you ask it to move heavy. And it doesn't happen by throwing yourself under a barbell or on top of a machine every day. It can happen in your kitchen, in your living room, in small daily movements that teaches your body it is allowed to trust itself again. Build that foundation first. Then the heavy lifting has something to stand on. And it works the way it was meant to. 2 movements, not a workout. 2 deposits into the account that fund your muscles for the next 20 years. The legs that get you up and the arms that carry the load. Together, maybe 90 seconds. The first one is standing up from your chair without using your hands. So try this, sit down in a chair, feet perfectly flat on the floor, and stand up. Feel the flat part of your feet on the floor. And you can either cross your arms if you want, or just put your arms by your side and stand. Now sit back down, and you're doing this standing slowly and sitting slowly. You're doing this with control. And notice, did you have to put your head and your upper body way forward to kind of tip yourself off of the chair? Or were you able to just accommodate moving slightly forward and then pushing through your legs and through the floor? Did you need to use the sides of the chair in order to get up or a table? If so, this is great information. Now you know. If it was easy, do it 5 times or 10 times. Feel that in your legs. If one was hard, great. Now you know where you are. That's information, and it's great information for you to start building on. That's your body telling you exactly where the account sits. So that's number 1, rising from a chair without pushing on the sides, feeling the work in your body and in your legs. Number 2, and this is the one for the calculator. Stand facing a wall, about arm's length from the wall. Your hands are slightly wider than your shoulders, palms are flat on the wall, and just lower your upper body, leaning in slowly, and then pushing back out. That's it. How's it feel? What did you notice? Was it hard? Was it easy? Being able to do 5 of these to start with is great. If that's too much, again, this is information. It's something for you to start working on. Now, the next part is, okay, great. I have these things. How do I remember to do them? How do I make it stick? And by anchor it in something that you already do. So, for example, every time you turn on the kettle to boil water, that is sit to stand. Every time you pass the kitchen wall, you do the arm presses. So now, every time you walk by these things, it starts to trigger this for you to remember to do this. These are, and you can do them anywhere. I have people that do them in their offices. They shut the door, they do it in the doorway, they do it on walls. You can do it pretty much anywhere. 2 movements. Sit to stand and press the wall. And picture it the next time you reach for something heavy and it just comes up. Maybe it's not totally nonplus, but you're building less shuffle, less negotiating. And that's where this leads to the point where you can do this with confidence. Here's what you just did. And this is the exciting part. You found the edge of one thing. Your carrying strength, and maybe like me in the doorway, you felt exactly where it quietly stopped. The second one is the sit to stand. That's one pillar. There are others. Your balance, your posture, your focus, stamina. And you can't decide what the next 20 years look like until you look at these all together as one picture. That is why I'm building something called your Ageless Map. It's a session where we put together the whole picture and we decide what comes next. It's not open yet, but I'm making a list, and women on the list will be the first ones in. So email me at diana@anagelesslife.com. Put in the word map in the subject line. That's all it takes. You're on the list, and you will be the first when the doors open again. What's coming up next in episode 2? We literally stay on our feet, and we're going to talk about balance. And balance shows up in so many ways. And about the thing Tango taught me that many doctors don't talk about. Balance is not something you have or lose. It's a skill, and it's trainable at any age. Believe me, I still think about that day in the doorway. 40 pounds of cat litter in a body that suddenly wanted to negotiate. I'm glad it happened. It was not the start of decline. It was a day I decided to fund the account instead of spending it down. Your muscles are not vanity. It's the currency for the next 20 years. It impacts the brain and so many other areas. You build it by moving, starting today, standing up on purpose and pressing into the wall. And the next time you carry something heavy and it goes up, no shuffle, no negotiation, no little worry about an accident, you'll know the account is filling back up. Aging is an upgrade. Let's spend the next 20 years like we mean it. That's it for today. Bye for now.
That's it for this reset. Thank you for spending this time with me. If today's episode gave you something to think about, I'd love to have you subscribe so you never miss what's next. And remember to grab your free gift, your midlife superpower, 5 simple power moves to feel like yourself again. The address for this is, or link is, anagelesslife.com/superpower. Thanks again. Bye-bye.